Hello and welcome to Barbara's podcast. This is the show for women, all about health, nutrition, and wellness. It's the show that will empower you and inspire you to create a healthier lifestyle.
Hello and welcome to the show where we explore the world of holistic health and wellness. Today I'm excited to introduce Suzanne Peters, Chief Executive Officer of Women to Women Network. She helps ambitious women turn their story, knowledge, and passion into profitable speaking businesses. Welcome, Suzanne.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm looking forward to this conversation for quite a while because I think it's something that I would like to do at some point in my life. So from story to stage, what inspired you to transition to the world of professional speaking, and how did you turn your personal journey into a profitable business?
Well, for me, it's something I fantasized about doing for years. I was a very strange young woman. First of all, in my younger days, I grew up in church. So every season, everything that happened in church, I was involved. I was always on stage, either reading something, reciting a play, or just doing things to get involved. And I loved that, but not necessarily from the point of theater or being applauded or celebrated or anything like that. I liked having the mic in my hand. And as I grew older and I got into personal development and I started to listen to a lot of motivational speaking, I just started to fantasize about being on stage, just speaking to inspire people. And I'm serious. While my friends were thinking about the amazing things they wanted to do and the fun they wanted to have, I was thinking about how can I become a speaker, travel, and just speak on stage and inspire people. And I would lay in bed at night and just fantasize about doing that. Now, the funny thing is, I didn't know anyone who was doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
No one in my family, no friends of the family, only people that I would see online, on YouTube. The people I didn't think I would ever have an opportunity to meet.
Yes.
And somehow, because I was so focused on that goal, I mean, I started to take a deep dive into what would it take for me to get there. So, I started to pay attention to what the experts were doing. I reached out, I got myself some coaches. I've had several coaches over the years, and I started to invest in myself. See, that is the secret part that a lot of people miss. They think, okay, you get this bright idea and you see people doing it and it looks easy, so you just go out there and do it too. But my goal is to be great. My goal is to be one of the greats, to be remembered long after I've gone because of the impact I've had in people's lives. So I got obsessed with Les Brown. I became obsessed with Jim Rohn, Lisa Nichols, and all these people that I was listening to consistently. So I got involved in their communities and I positioned myself to be able to learn from them. I got the coaching I needed. Then I started to get the experience and I just fell in love with this whole vision more with every step I took, with every move I made. And now I'm at a place in my life where I absolutely cannot see myself doing anything else.
Well, it's inspiring to hear that because I'm sure there's a lot of women that either think about wanting to do something yet don't know how to go from A to B. So,
Yeah.
what are the key steps women should take if they build a six-figure speaking business from scratch?
Well, with anything, first of all, you have to know what you want. You know, there's a saying, you can't get what you want if you don't know what that is. And that's something a lot of us do, especially in the beginning. It's a mistake we all make. We'd say, oh, I want a successful speaking business. Oh, I want to accomplish this. But we don't get specific on what exactly does that look like. Me, I wanted to speak on stages initially. That was my goal. So that was my first goal. I accomplished that. Then, because I accomplished that, my goal changed. I want to help other women do what I accomplished. And I wanted to build a business around it. So with each step I took, I zeroed in on what that goal was. So get clear on what it is you want first, because if you are not clear on that, you're not going to get it. Then what I did, rather than doing the opposite, which is another thing we do, is we try to figure things out on our own, and we don't realize that so much time is going by while we're doing this. Like, I know women, not just women, I know people who have been trying to figure things out on their own for years.
Yeah.
And they're barely getting by. They're barely moving anywhere at all, because they're trying to do it in their own will, with their own knowledge, when in reality they're supposed to be learning from other people who have already done what they want to do. So I wasn't going to waste time trying to figure things out on my own. I invested. I found someone who was doing what I wanted to do, and I invested with them. So get clear on what you want, then find someone who's doing what you want to do and learn from them. I can guarantee you it will literally cut your time in half. No, actually, down to a fraction.
Yeah.
Rather than spending 10 years trying to figure it out, you can literally spend 1 year, 2 years learning from a mentor, someone who has already accomplished what you are trying to accomplish. And the thing about that, Barbara, is that person now can give you a step-by-step plan that works.
Yes.
A step-by-step plan that you can simply follow, connect the dots, and you too could accomplish your goals. Those are the two shortest, simplest tips I can give you. The last thing is, when you figure it out, because this is the part we all forget when we think that, okay, so I'm good now. I've made it. I've accomplished my goals. I am the it girl. Practice, 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 practice. Never stop practicing your craft. Never stop practicing that thing that you invested in yourself to do. Because some people get to a point where they think, oh, I'm good, I'm the best, this is what I do. But what they don't realize is you can always better your best. There's this one saying, and I know you know it, that I don't agree with at all. And it says, practice makes perfect. I have
Yes.
never agreed with that. I've always been the person who thought, oh no, practice doesn't make perfect. It makes improvement. So the more you practice, the better you get. And the more you keep improving and getting better, the more other people are going to start to notice you. The more people are going to start to reach out to you to work with you. They're going to reach out to you for you to come and speak at their organization. So you always want to practice, practice, practice. And even if you look at those athletes, so many of them have been breaking their own records because they keep surpassing what they thought were their best. And it works the same way with all of us. So my 3 tips that I'm going to give, yep, know exactly what you want. Once you know what you want, find someone who is doing what you want to do and learn from them. Then once you get that, practice.
Practice.
Practice, practice, practice. What do you
So,
think about that, Barbara? 3 simple tips, right?
yes, I think it's fantastic. Well, I certainly know that repetition is the mother of all skill. I heard that many times.
It is. If more people did that, whoo, boy, they'll
Yeah.
be amazing.
Well, we've got to aim to be outstanding. Why settle for mediocrity?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
Like
do achieve your dreams, if you do
you
want to achieve
do.
your dreams.
You do. And what you find is the more you do it, the more you want to get involved, the more you want to step out there, the more you want to live that life,
Yes.
you know? And then what happens is when you keep showing up as your best and improving, you find people are now reaching out to you consistently without you having to go looking for them. They come looking for you, and they help you take your business to a whole new level because you have positioned yourself as that person and you keep showing up.
Yeah.
You keep showing up. Mhm.
Well, so taking it on to the next step. So how can women effectively turn everyday conversations into opportunities that lead to paid speaking?
Well, first thing, one of the things I've realized is even with an everyday conversation, a lot of the women I meet, they don't introduce themselves in a way that makes people want to learn more.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I do a lot of networking, and yes, I'm going to toot my own horn here, but
Not.
every, every room I enter, I find people who want to work with me without me seeking them out. And the reason for that is the way I introduce myself. So most times when you're having a normal conversation, hi, how are you? What do you do? Oh, I'm a life coach. Oh, I'm an insurance agent. And it's so dry. But what people don't understand is, yes, you may have a title, but even if you tell someone what you do, 99% of the time they still don't know exactly what you do. So for me, I would always use my interest statement, regardless of who I'm speaking to, regardless of what room I am in. And what I also do is I would tweak it to suit the room I am in. So this is an example of what this looks like. So, hi Barbara, how are you? So, yeah, you want to know what I do? No problem. I'm like, oh, well, I'm an award-winning speaker and speaker development coach. And we're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Yes, I help women leverage their story, their life experiences, and their knowledge to build their own profitable speaking business. No, that is simply different from me telling you I'm a speaker development coach or I'm a speaker, right? Because now I've taken it a step further and I tell you exactly what I do.
Yeah.
But then you can also put the cherry on top. Just give it a little extra.
Yeah.
So I would say something like, so they can live life on their own terms, or so they can leave their full-time jobs. So that usually gets people like,
Make it
all right.
sound enticing.
Exactly. And all they did was ask, what do you do? I could have given them a one-liner, but instead I take it a step further. And what that does now is that opens the door for communication, for discussion there. But I wouldn't go on to continue just talking about myself. Of course, I would ask them also what they do. Or maybe I ask them first and it goes vice versa. But then what I would actually do is I would like, okay, and do you speak about what you do? And I would build a conversation about around that because that's something I know I can help them in. But I'm not going to try to sell them anything. It's just to get the conversation going for them to realize, hey, you know what? I'm a business owner. I can get on a stage and speak too to leverage and grow my business. So that causes questions and ideas to come into their minds. So it's all about how you introduce yourself and how you direct the conversation. You can literally walk into any room and walk away with business. And I'm not telling you this just for saying its sake. I'm saying it because it works for me all the time. And it's fun too.
Yeah, no.
It's
Well,
fun.
Yeah. No, it is fun, but I think there's a lot of women who, I don't know if they've got to work on their self-esteem or they struggle to charge for their expertise. So what advice would you give to someone who's struggling with that and to help them overcome that mindset and confidently earn from speaking or to charge what they're worth?
Well, let me put it like
It's a
this.
tough one.
Yes and no, but okay, for me, I don't have a problem charging. And when I say I don't have a problem charging, everybody gets charged.
Yes.
Friend, family, neighbor, it doesn't matter. Now, depending on who it is, they may get a family discount or something, but they get charged because when people pay, of course, they pay attention. So
Yes.
you can't go about giving your stuff away. So you have to look at things from the standpoint you are having difficulty charging someone for your service. So you need to take a look inward and think about how you value what you have to offer. If is it something that you want to be able to profit off of? Is it something that you want to be able to build a business off of? Well, the thing is, in order for it to become a business, you have to make money. And in
Yeah.
order for you to make money, you have to charge people. So this is where you have to stand up inside yourself and talk to yourself. And talking to myself is something I have done a lot. I still do it now. It's just a bit different to how I did it in the earlies. But I would constantly talk to myself and remind myself, I am needed. My service is needed. I have what people need. And this thing that I have been blessed to be able to do is what's going to help me to live the life I've always dreamed of. It's going to give me time freedom, financial freedom, and all these things. But in order to do that, I would charge people. So here's what I recommend: come up with a cost that is low enough that you would feel comfortable telling people. Because when I say comfortable, it should roll off your tongue. Someone asks you your fee, oh, it's $500, it's $1,000. You should be able to say it without hesitation.
Okay.
Whatever that figure is, start there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just start there with that figure. And the moment you get three people to say yes, you increase it. And you just keep that going until you get to your goal of how much you want to charge people for your services. Now, I'm saying this because that's something I did when I started my business. When I would pitch myself to companies and they would ask me about my fee, I was reluctant because I'm like, I'm a new speaker. I don't want to say a price and get rejected. So I started really low. And every time I got a yes, then I would just increase it and increase it. And that builds your confidence because you already know what you have to offer is needed. But now you are putting it out there and you are getting these yeses. So it affirms what you already know. So it builds your confidence, and then you are able to easily move on to the next stage, which is take it a bit higher. Whether you increase your fee by $100, $500, it's totally up to you. But if you are not confident in what you are charging people, they are not going to pay you for it. So start low, and as you get those yeses, you just increase as you go along. And you would see how that would transform the way you look at your speaking fee. You would be so confident, people will be looking at you like, she got it going on.
Well, I think that's a great tactic because it's something I think that, we all think about, and some of us might not actually know how to go about it, and whether we think it's actually correct to increase your prices every now and then or not to. But hearing it for you, if it's tried and tested and it's worked, then for sure we can follow it.
Yeah, because how many times have you seen someone with a product or service, it's worth at least $1,000, but when you ask them, they're like, 200, and still they don't say that with confidence, you know? So say it with confidence. It's worth $1,000, but you can have it for $200. Get three people to say yes, then take it up to 500. Get
It's
three people to say yes, and it doesn't have to be three. It could be one, It can be two. It's totally up to you. And then take it up until you get to that point where you can comfortably say, oh, it's $1,000. How would you like to pay? But it works. It
It
works.
does. Well, there shouldn't be any hesitation, obviously, but I think it's definitely a confidence game. It is.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you are new and you're now coming out there and you don't want to be putting something out where you're not comfortable saying it and no one is buying. Oh my goodness, nothing would make you feel worse than that.
I know.
Mhm.
Well, amplifying women's voices. Why do you think it's so important for women to step into the spotlight and share their stories? And what impact does that have on society and future generations?
Well, women to me are the real leaders of the world. When you look at it, we are the ones that carry kids for 9 months. We give birth to them. We nurture them. We are born to be leaders. Well, that's what I believe. I grew up with my mom and three sisters. So I'm used to seeing a woman as a leader. Now, that being the case, we spend so much time nurturing our youngs and sharing our knowledge and guiding them. But what I realized as I grew older, being a woman, being the eldest of four girls, I'm like, I found myself in a position where I realized I had a duty to share my knowledge, share my story, share my expertise to guide my sisters on their journey. Now, the thing about it is, it didn't stop there with my sisters because as I started to speak and get out there, I realized how much this is needed around the world. As women, we face so much of the same experiences. We face the same challenges consistently, but too many of us keep those things to ourselves. We don't share them. So people out there, other women out there thinking, you know what? No one understands what I'm going through. No one understands the pain I'm in. No one knows what I'm dealing with. And it's only when we speak up and share our experiences and share our stories that we are able to connect the dots for other women out there. It's when we do that, we are able to uplift them and let them know, listen, you are valuable. You have something to offer the world. The world needs you. So now it's your turn to step up and share what you have also. The more we continuously doing this, we become stronger, but we help others become stronger as well. And so it's like a ripple effect that keeps going and going and going because it never ends. I mean, they say each one teach one. Well, why do we stop there? Why can't we just keep this going? One person can impact thousands of lives, literally, simply by sharing her story, simply by sharing her experiences, what she has been through. I believe that that nurturing that was put into us by God for a reason. It's not there just for us to see about our children because I have no kids. I have no kids. But I was blessed to be the eldest of four girls. I am blessed to be in a position where I get to impact women's lives all year round, all over the world. And because I've been able to do that, I now have a business. My business is over 10 years now. I have a successful business. I live a life of freedom. I travel. I show people what's possible. And that would not have been if I wasn't willing to step into the arena and to accept the call on my life. So I believe there's a call on all of our lives, but it's only when you say yes and you step up to the mic and you say, okay, this is me, this is what I'm going to do. I know someone out there needs what I have to say. I am going to do my best to impact that person. And when you are doing that, once you make it about impacting lives and not just trying to get an income or anything like that, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
But it starts with you saying yes, you are going to serve, You're going to share what you have to offer, because I can guarantee you, no matter who you are, where you are, what you've been through, what your position is, what your age is, what your race is, it doesn't matter. The world needs you. I need for everyone out there to know that.
Yeah. Each person, I believe, has something to share.
They do.
No matter age, race, profession, everyone has something to share which may be of value for someone.
Yeah. We go through so much of the same experiences every single day. And what some people are struggling with right now are things that we already overcame, and we know how to get through those. It's up to us to share it with them.
Absolutely. So, in closing, where can our listeners get in touch with you?
Oh, well, you can get in touch with me on Instagram. I'm going to give you that one location because it's easy to find. On Instagram at Suzanne Empowers. Once you go there, you're going to get everything. Everything. Just connect with me on Instagram at Suzanne Empowers, and be sure to let me know where you found out about me, so I can reach out and thank Barbara.
Yeah. Well, well, thank you, Suzanne, for sharing your expertise and insights with us today. I'm sure a lot of women will get a lot of value from hearing this podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure having you as my guest.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. I really enjoy talking about this. So, this was a treat for me. Thank you so much for having me, Barbara. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thanks for listening to Barbara's podcast. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter or e-courses. Celebrate life, and see you at the next episode.